Hello neighbors and welcome back to the channel here. Christopher Henry with Noya Mountain Music, and we're looking at the Slidey lick today. It's a special day because the Slidey lick is one of the most remarkable and helpful, excellent improvisational tools that you'll find in the Monroe vocabulary. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do or nothing, but I think you probably might learn this. And it sounds like this. Okay, so 1, 4, 5 with the Slidey lick. Okay, so we're going to learn how to do it by ear, note for note, and then we're also going to hear from the amazing Wyatt Ellis about how his journey with the mandolin has been improved from learning the Slidey lick, and we're going to learn how to apply it. Do a couple classic chord forms, Blue Ridge Cabin Home, and Road to Columbus, which is also the same as going back to Old Kentucky, and a bunch of other stuff. Your love is like a flower. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to it. How does this work? Okay, so the way that I count the music is with the picking down and up being 16th notes, all right? So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. So it's 14 16th notes and 1/8 note, okay? You can have the last 16th note be the upstroke, but a lot of times it's good to have it as a downstroke on the last 8th note, and that's gonna let you have enough time to get to your next chord a little bit more easily, okay? So we're gonna learn it with the front half and the back half. Here is the front half. Alright, so the trick with the Slidey lick is to slide it with your ring finger. Okay, so we're doing down, up, down. This is in the key of G. So sliding down from the 5th fret to the 3rd fret with your ring finger. Down, up, down. That's kind of the tricky part. And then you're going to continue with the upstroke on the 1st fret of the A, sliding into the 2nd fret with the downstroke. Okay, so this is all articulated. Down, up, down, up, down. And then we finish the front half with an upstroke, then a downstroke on the 5th fret of the D. All right, that is the front half of the Slidey lick. This is our standard stock Slidey lick. 1 E and a 2 E and. Okay, so the second half sounds like this. So remember, with the first half, we ended with a downstroke on the 5th fret of the D. We're going to continue with the upstroke on the 1st fret of the A, sliding into the 2nd fret, up to the 5th fret of the A, down to the 3rd fret, and then 1, 2 again, articulated, up, down, and then finishing with up and a down on the 5th fret of the D. Okay, so here's the back half. Okay, so that instruction went by pretty quickly for a lot of y'all. So if you didn't get it, continue to work with that last 90 seconds until you've got it. Don't write any of this down. That's not how we learn by ear. Please like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that little bell there for the notifications, and you'll get all the good stuff from Noya Mountain Music. Thank you. And if you have been enjoying the teaching on this YouTube channel, please consider becoming a Noya Mountain Music Patreon supporter. Okay, so what is the Slidey lick? It's a Monroe device that you can modulate for many different melodies. It's a great go-to lick. You can use it as a gambit, you know, for your one chord. You can use it on any chord, basically. You do it as a minor. It's not really used that way primarily, but it's just one of the greatest licks to have in your muscle memory underneath your fingers. You can just kind of pop out anytime. It's kind of like a sped up blues lick. So if you're thinking about it as a blues lick, okay, so we got our front half, and the back half. We're putting a little shuffle in there. When you get up to speed, that kind of goes away. You really hear the slidey glissando part of it. So first half, 1 E and a 2 E and. All right, that's down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Second half, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So that is the Slidey lick, stock in G. Okay, so if you want to take that up to your C chord, it starts on the 5th fret of the D. It's the exact same shape. So anywhere you're going with your chord, it's right there. That's the key of E there. So if you're in your chop chord, you just bring your ring finger over one string and start there. So if you're in G, you know your chop chord, you got your ring finger on the 5th fret of the D. For the Slidey lick to start, you just bring your ring finger over the 5th fret of the A. It's that easy. So that might be a little bit fast yet, and getting that slide happening cleanly is the key, and just make sure that you're articulating every single note. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and. Some people will want to do like multiple downstrokes or multiple upstrokes, but it's really down, up the whole way. Down, up, 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 down. When you get it in G, and take it to C. How would we do D? Okay, you could come up 2 frets and start on the 7th fret of the D. Totally good. Or you could start it on the other A note, okay, 5th fret of the E. So if you're going to play that in a circle like 1, 4, 5, 1, like Blue Ridge Cabin Home, this is how it would go. I recommend folks who are learning this to be able to do this in all the different songs. Just slide your way through the whole chord form. It's not that you would do that or choose to do that creatively or musically, but it's a really good practice exercise to be able to do it. Ultimately, you're going to want to modulate this device to use it when it's most musical, most tasteful. And that will include blending it with other devices and, most importantly, making sure that it's appropriate with the given melody. Okay? So for instance, if you're playing Blue Ridge Cabin Home, you might want to start off with the melody. There's a well-beaten path on this, and then play the slidey lick over the C chord. And then pop back to the melody for the D chord. All right, does that make sense? There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was alive. Change that up, play the slidey lick over the G chord, and then come into the melody on your 4 chord, right? Okay, say you wanted to play the melody over the G chord and then use the slidey over the C and the D. What would that be like? There's a well-beaten path on this old mountainside where I wandered when I was alive. Like that, okay? You might have heard me put a little modulation in there. If you're going to play the stock slidey lick in D, it would end with the downstroke on the 5th fret of the A there. You can modulate it to get back to the G though, like this. All right, so instead of having an 8th note at the end, and then come back to the G, you could keep going with the 16th notes. And then 3, 2 on the A, and then end on the downbeat of the G chord on the G note, 5th fret of the D. Have a little tag lick, or whatever. So that would be like this. All right. So that's a good way that you can apply it to Blue Ridge Cabin Home. Let's think about another tune. Let's think about The Road to Columbus. You might know the melody there, you might not. If that got called in a jam session, could you use this one slidey lick to play the whole thing? Yes, you could. Whoa, you just need to know the chords. All right, in this case, the chords go like this. A, D, 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 A, E, 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 A, D, 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 then the split bar, E, A. All right, so full bar A, full bar D, full bar A, full bar E, that's halfway through. Then it starts out the same the second half, full bar of A, full bar of D, and then the split bar, which is 2 beats of A, 2 beats of E, and then it finishes with a full bar of A. Okay, so you can play this one slidey lick over the whole chord form. We just need to figure out how to do the split bar slidey at the end, okay? So let's check it out. So that's going very fast, obviously, but you can see how it works. You can build it up to speed, work with a metronome a little bit every day, 1 or 2 beats a minute a day. In a month, you'll have 30 or 40 new beats, and you can proceed like that. So basically the same operation using the whole slidey lick, 1 bar lick, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, and I'll show you one little trick about how you can string another 16th note in there to keep it a little bit more fluid. So we learned it with an 8th note at the end. Down, up, 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 down. And then going into the next chord or the next slidey lick starting with a downstroke. What you can do with a slidey lick is you can always drop the last 16th note, which would be an upstroke, onto the open string under which your last finger played the note. So that means in A, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, and our last note of the slidey lick in A is the 7th fret of the D. So you can have your upstroke be the open D and then go into your slidey lick. For instance, in this case, it's going to be over the 4 chord in D. All right, so before we were ending with a downstroke, and then starting over on that same note with a downstroke. Now we can connect that A lick to the D lick, both slidey licks, with an open D. And then you could also drop that to the open G to get to your slidey lick back in A. Or it can be the open A, it can be the open D, you know, just whatever is easy. It can kind of gloss together that way. In that case, I was using the upstroke on the open A to glue it together to the next slidey lick in A. Same thing, you can have the open E, open A, or open D to connect that bar to the E slidey lick. Again, open A underneath. Now we're looking at our split bar slidey. Okay, we haven't talked about this yet. How does this work? So you play the first half in A, and then play the back half in E. That would be like a stock split bar slidey. But what we want to do is modulate it to come back to the 1. So remember, we talked about that in D, using those couple more notes in the chord form to come back to the 1, 5th fret of the D. That was 3, 2, 5 on the G chord, 3 and 2 on the A string, 5th fret of the D on the end of it. Okay, so how do we do the split bar slidey in A? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Then 5 and 4 on the A string, finishing out with the 7th fret of the D downstroke. You can tag it out from there. It's a little bouncy tag lick, a little slidey lick on there. We're not going to teach that right now here. That might be on a different video. So the split bar slidey with a little tag there. You could also come up the arpeggio. Do something easy like that. A little bit more complicated with the upstroke there. So you can see how easily you can pop this into so many songs. Let's use the gospel set, for instance. You know, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? All right, you see how the application works? How about All Fly Away? Easy. I saw the light. You know what happened right there? So it's 6 beats on the C chord for I Saw the Light. So you could have, and then just repeat the back half before you come back to your 1 chord there. Could you start with the melody on the first bar and then go into the slidey lick, and then go into your melody or device on the 4 chord? You sure could. Something like that. Could you start with the slidey lick as the gambit, and then come back to the melody? Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. The back half of the slidey lick over the 4 chord to get back to the 1, you can just see how the applications can be so easy and fluid. So this is a lick that works in any key where you have a chop chord, okay? G, C, A, D, B, E. You know, here's B. Rough around the edges, it's okay. It's a little Monroe style. It's very important that you learn it clean though. All right, so get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and you'll be sounding good. So let's hear what the amazing Wyatt Ellis has to say about the slidey lick.
Hey everybody, the slidey lick is a lick that I've been using for a long time now, and it was a lick I learned when I was just starting out. It was such a great foundation for all the licks that I play now. And you know, it was a lick that I would take to jam sessions all around and play it whenever I wanted to. And I'm going to play it right now on an old standard called Road to Columbus. I hope y'all can take this lick and play it too.
And so the slidey lick with the staggered 16th notes through the arpeggio and the bounce lick are the core modular Monroe devices. With these three, along with the melody, being able to switch and swap, you'll have nearly infinite creative possibilities to use with your improvising. And if you want to go deeper with these devices, check out noyamountainmusic.com. There are 10 12-week courses, and you can really get into it there. Staggered arpeggios, slidey lick, bounce lick, and a little tag lick. All right. These licks are so fun. My buddy Eddie Leitner actually wrote them into the lyrics of a song on his new album. There you have a little primer on the slidey lick. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a Patreon supporter. That'll allow us to make more content to give to you here on the YouTube channel. And please think about giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. That'll help us with the algorithm, along with our bluegrass rhythms. All right, neighbors, hope you have a good day. Adios, we'll see you on the next one.
Bring your bouncy licks and your slidey ones too. You'll learn some new ways to stay in the groove.